Hello again. This is Bill Lindeman for the Believers Business Center show, and I'm here with Carrie Sluter. And our subject today is we need a better plan. And I know that Carrie's got a lot to say about that, and I have some things to say too. So, Carrie, what's the plan?
Well, the plan is that the better plan is that we need to come together more as a community and come up with some better plans with the Believers Business Center, the way that it was designed. As we talked about a couple of weeks ago on the show, we have an article going into He Reigns magazine, Gospel magazine, and that article talks about the mission of the Believers Business Center and why it was called. And the heading on that article is God and an Ark to the Rescue for the End Times. That article tells the story, will tell the story about why I'm doing what I'm doing for the center and the creation of it, that God inspired it to not just build another business. As you had read in that
Yes.
article, remember you read the quote that I stated in here, Beloved, I wish above all things that you may prosper and be in health even as your soul prospers. What's the scripture that is in John 3, 1 and 2? And but the verse beyond that, or below that we had said in the magazine is, God showed me that communities do not need just another Christian business. God showed me that communities do not need just another business. Christians do not need just another church or a nonprofit organization. The homeless do not need just another homeless shelter, another counseling group, or just another job fair. Entrepreneurs do not need just another multi-level marketing opportunity or another small business idea. Small businesses do not need just another place to advertise or a place to rent. Authors and artists do not need just another store to display in. Every community needs a place with a strategic master plan that will assist them all in being more successful, utilizing the greatest success tool ever written, the Bible. And that is one of the quotes in the article in the magazine. That is the heart and the structure of the Believers Business Center and why it is so unique. And what we're trying to achieve here is not just another rescue, another mission to fix something. It's a plan, and it's been developed. It took me 6 years to develop the details and create the business plans beneath it that would allow anyone to come through that door and help someone else to the same efforts that add to their own success. Something that it's a business plan that will allow us to share a place and share a plan that everyone that's doing their mission can do it through the Believers Business Center, doing what they do, that someone else is able to connect with them more successfully, quicker, easier, to be able to help one another, to help their missions, as well as what they're doing, helping ours. And I have mentioned that a couple of times in the show before, that when someone needs help, when they come to us, we have resources available, but at the same time, we need what they have to offer, and we're doing different things all around our community and not able to create a place that we can connect each other at the same time and using the same space. We have colleges, we have churches, we have community centers, we have resources, different things available out there, and a literacy center would deal with
Yes.
literacy, for example, where if we don't need that facility full time forever, if we're doing our job, we should be able to use classrooms in a facility that also puts them through the next stage of their life. Teaching someone to read is not a full fix, as we all know.
Yeah.
That learning how to read isn't going to get them a job, and it's not going to repair the damage if their children are 10 years old that they've suffered from the illiteracy
Yeah.
and not being able to read, or the parents not being able to read and teach them. So we need more than just a Band-Aid fix. And I've started another article that I'll be presenting, but
Yes.
in this article it talks about we need a better plan. and the plan is something that will give us beyond just another mission, just another vision that's going to help a group. And in this particular part of it, where our country is in a state of disaster on numerous levels, and some are worse than others. But we all have come together. We come together, and when you put out a message that there's a home burned down and a family died, and the world around them gets emotional. We want to
Yes.
help. We step in. We'll call in the troops. People reach in their pockets and they'll do something to help. But if it's the drug situation or a drug house that burned down, or neglect on a parent's part, whatever that issue is that caused it, we're not going to the root of the problem. We're
Right.
continually working to create Band-Aids or to put out a fire, if you will.
Yeah.
We're running like firemen, fire rescue, running to put out fires
Yes.
after they're ablaze. And there's not enough plans out there where we're working together with a plan or strategic plan that will allow us to go to the roots and stop it or slow it down
Yes.
before it gets to those fires. And instead of chasing fires, it's better to have fire prevention. Every fireman will tell you that. You go in, you put in a smoke detector. You prepare. You make sure your gas doesn't leak. You take precautions.
Yes.
And there's not enough precautions or enough things going to the roots on a daily basis without having to have a crisis situation and say everybody needs to reach in their pockets and give, tithe, give, and we need funds to bail out this person, or we need funds to help this crisis. And we spend so much time as Christians and people who want to help reverting to that because that's what's been available.
Yeah.
For many years we've done that. And in this plan, it's a way to achieve a better result. We are looking right now to get some assistance. I've been funding this by myself for 6 years now, while I've been developing
know.
the plans
Yes.
and the process of it, and it's been funded totally by me, and we have a few partners and members who have joined, but it's pretty much been from my own funds. It is to a point now where it's ready for the partners to come in. It needs to be finished so that we can offer the classrooms, so that we can offer the volunteers and interns. We've
Yes,
talked about how many
yes.
volunteers and interns we have. Right now they're working out of one room and they're stepping on each other. We need our system in place with the facility to meet the requirements of the plan. What it will produce is phenomenal results.
Yes.
And when people really look at what the plan entails and how it will work, it will generate recoveries on multiple levels to the underside of the problems
Yeah.
that we're creating or that we're trying to find solutions for. So that's what I really kind of wanted to talk about
Yeah, sure.
today is on the show, is letting the audience know that if we team up through the right plan and a better system that's bringing God into the marketplace, where those people will be able to receive it, if they choose that, it's there. If a person doesn't have a job
Yes.
and they have a story to tell, if we have a place that there's people there that can encourage them and help them write their own story or write a book, we've created an author out of a person that's unemployed. A person, if they're selling those books, they're employed. They have an income. And that's our goal, is to make people, get them out into
Yes,
the business world, get them
yeah.
doing something. Who's to say they couldn't have a million book seller?
Sure.
We don't know that, but if we have the right people who can connect them and take their book, if it is that good and their story's that good, we together as an authors team can take them in that. The ministry side does the same thing with the people who connect through the ministry. While they're taking the literacy class, while they're getting the family counseling, they can step into the different programs throughout our community where we connect. We're just a connection and resource center,
Yes.
but our classrooms, and we are lacking in offices for the volunteers. We're working with Michigan Works heavily right now. They're very excited about our programs, and we have we have volunteers that are coming there that don't have daycare covered, and they're holding their children while they're trying to volunteer. It's a great thing to see that need, because it shows the need of what we have to offer
Yes,
there. There's not a place out there that's going to do that, and we can put $1 million into literacy classes, programs, training, all those things. We can build buildings that will give them a place to learn how to read.
Yes,
But where's the daycare issues covered in that we're still struggling with?
Yeah.
And there's another group that's
Yeah.
trying to get funds to cover that.
yeah,
Where are where is the gym with the basketball hoop
yeah,
for the boys and the kids that are hanging out in Edison neighborhood?
Yeah.
They can't get to, they can't get out.
Yeah.
We don't have no place to put them out of the streets. So they're sitting there. So where is the plan that's creating jobs in our marketplace?
yes,
The plan that is at the same time, it's doing all these things with the same building, same expenses, utilizing volunteers. We're cutting back on wages. We're not supporting a business or a building that's going to sit there for the next 10 years to keep the lights on and keep the taxes paid. We go through one facility and have a community resource networking connection center that has something there for everyone. When they need the gym, they can use it. When they need a small expo center, for the business person who needs an advertising that that is affordable.
yeah,
Why not have a advertisement company, which we do? It's developed, it's up and running, it's fabulous. It's still missing some pieces because we don't have the funds.
yeah,
Those pieces being, a bulletin board on a main road that is usable by our community to put our messages up there together. We all own it. We all have right to put our message up. If we have a need in our community, someone has a fundraiser going on, what
Yes.
better advertisement for them? And we don't have a resource center that offers something for everyone. While the person is writing the book,
yes,
that owns a store, there's a small store in them to get them started to promote their book. They use the team up with other authors to promote their books in the expo center. Well, then when you have the advertisement, we have volunteers doing the work, or employees. We're creating jobs. Someone has to run those employees or the volunteers programs. So we're creating a new atmosphere and a whole new angle on our economy's crises. We're working together. At the same time, if a person who sells tennis shoes and has information about health, they can cross through. We share the traffic
yes,
of that center. When I'm there teaching a 4 Steps Up class, and there's 10 people there, where they have parents and sisters and siblings that may need something else that's there through another member. It's a
Yes.
connection center. It's our own shopping mall. It's walk-in networking.
Yes.
It's all the things that we need in one place. And it is also at the same time capable of helping Michigan Works to get jobs for those people. Finding a place where there's volunteer opportunities, where they're getting on-the-job training. The volunteers can work in those offices that we need to create, to work for a business person. If you were
Yes.
starting up a small business, or someone else in the audience is starting a small business, or they need something done, even if there's an elderly person out there who needs a project done, they don't know how to use internet, they don't know how to type up a letter for themselves, they should have a place where they can call and say, do you have someone there that could type up a letter for me? And use the skills of our entrepreneurs and our people who are out there, the volunteers, letting them help that person.
yes,
The center is a place where we can create that type of atmosphere that elderly person doesn't have to pay extra for, or we can share that if they need to.
Yeah.
We can help connect each other. The other side of that is that we can create jobs. If that person gets the volunteer or someone who's out of work really has a good skill that they can help other business owners who are coming in to achieve success using that skill, they could create a business and utilize that as a business and hire out for small amounts to start a business. So all the resources are there, and it's a complete fix to handle everything in our economy, in our community, to pool our resources, pool our talents, pool our funds. If you have enough people, we're looking for hundreds of partners to
Yes.
partner with us at a low cost and just being involved in the center. Our partnership is $25 to $60 a month. As you well know, if you have enough people putting a small amount in, that center can pay for itself. It wouldn't need the funds, but it's also going to be self-sufficient. It can reinvest back into the community. It will be helping people round the clock with all different issues and directing them to the places that do that, so they're
Yes,
more successful.
Yeah, yeah.
So we're not bringing everything to us so that we do it all. We're bringing it through us so we can all do it better.
Yes.
I guess that's the best way to put it, is
Yes.
to bring them through us, to put them out to the others, to help us all be more successful. Which is, it states in the article, that together we can
Yes.
do more. We're not trying to recreate anything. What I have created through God and His guidance is a structured plan that will allow us to work together, doing what we do, helping someone else, helping others through the same efforts that add to our own success, which brings us back to the Bible. And when you
Yeah.
give, you receive. It brings us right back to
Sure.
everything that we're doing. Our basis for life and living is right here.
Right.
When you're loving your neighbor as you love yourself, you're applying the scriptures into life and living, into a business plan that will help us do a
Yes.
better job at what we're doing. No more Band-Aid fixes. No more running around being firemen. 10 years from now, we could see a difference in that chain. It's not that we wouldn't still fund those programs, but that we would be there to help them be more successful at what they're doing.
Yes.
And one of my biggest concerns about what I see out going on in the community, in the communities, is that we have so many efforts going outside to other communities,
Yes.
other countries. And I'm not saying we shouldn't help those other countries. Please don't take it that way. But what I am saying is that it's just sad when we have a crisis situation in another country or another state, and we reach into our pockets and come up with $100,000, $500,000, or $1 million, pooling our things together to handle that.
Yes.
And because there was 12 kids shot in a school, something like that, and our hearts go out to that.
Yes.
But we have more than 12 kids that are dying, struggling, suffering, going hungry, can't read. Their parents are broke up. That is a crisis just as well. That is what's leading to the bigger ones, is the crisis of
Yes.
all of these.
Yes.
There wouldn't be the schools getting shot up if we had a better if we had better focus on the roots. Maybe those things would
Yes.
diminish. And if we don't do something, they're not going to change. They're not going to get better. My heart says, I do this even for my own children.
Sure.
I've had to spend a lot of time at that center, away from my kids and my family, to create this. But every time I think about it, I think that my children will have a place where they can go if they get
Yes.
caught in the system.
Yeah.
If they end up at Michigan Works without a job, there will be a place. We all need to think about that.
Yes.
We need to think about that, because our resources are unemployment, food stamps. That's our resources for our children.
Yeah. Yeah.
When do we deem that a crisis?
Yeah.
The biggest one we have, and work on our own backyards and put in an effort, creating something that can also, when it is up and running and has our support, can also help with those bigger ones.
Yes.
We can still be there for the crisis.
Yeah.
We can still be there for the other countries, but our backyard will be stronger to help us.
Yes.
It only makes sense.
Yeah.
But why didn't we think of this many years ago?
Good
Many years
question.
ago, to create a place that would cause that type of a system
Yeah. Good question.
to work from the heart. We are the heart of this.
Yeah.
We the people. And one more thing I want to say, and then I'm going to give you some time, because I probably used up most of the time on the
It's
show.
fine. It's
I'm
fine.
very
You have
sorry, but
plenty to say.
it's been so on my heart.
Yeah.
To share. But we have, we even have business owners who are struggling. They're the ones that are referred to as the backbone of our country.
Yes. Mhm.
And they're struggling, can't afford to reach in their pockets. They're even thinking most of the time they can't afford $50 or $60 a month because our economy is so stressed.
Yes.
And they need a better system that where that $60 a month is going to make them enough to support it and then get them back on their feet.
Yes.
Not asking for another business. I've got another business, business opportunity for you, another advertising program, or another place
Yeah,
for you to
yeah.
rent. This is
Yeah.
not about that. It's about the heart of it all.
Yeah.
So you said you had a few things you wanted to share, so I'm going to
Well, when I first heard of your organization, that's, I read about what you were doing, your website, and that's the first thing I thought of is, what kind of movement is going on here? And I see that you're very ambitious, and I know you've had a lot of growing pains, and I see you're very, very well positioned to do a lot for the community. I think this is about the finest community organization I've ever seen, and I'm really excited about it. I mean, there's a man in the neighborhood that started his own school, the Tree of Life,
Yep. Yes.
and few people know about it.
Yep.
And you have the Hope Ranch that's rehabilitating homes, fixing up homes. I mean, these are people that are actually doing it as we speak, and they're coming from you and what you're doing, and I think it's a wonderful thing, and I absolutely agree with everything you say, and probably even more so. I mean, I think things have to be done in the community. Renewal of the communities have to be done within the community. They can't be done outside. There's not a government project in the world that's going to solve problems of people. It has to come from individuals, families, and communities. And I think you're absolutely straight on with your ideas. And it's being Bible-based. It means it's spiritually based. It has a permanence to it. It's not just here today and forget about it for
Right.
tomorrow. It's a permanence. It's a contract with God and with the past and the present and the future. So I'm really excited with what you're doing. And
I'd like to share the very first
Sure.
part, the opening of this,
sure,
of the article from the magazine.
Sure.
Is God called me to help him build an ark, a place where he can help us all through the end times. As a pastor and servant of God, as owner and founder of the Believers Business Center, also known as the Entrepreneur's Ark, Believers Business Center and the Entrepreneur's Ark, how could I say no to God and think it would be too big or impossible? When God called me to build this place, he says, I spent many years teaching in my home, referring to it as Living the Promises. The group was growing and filled our home with people every Sunday and Wednesday. My heart ached for the lack of application and results in the lives of the people after we parted ways at the end of the studies. What I thought was a greatly received teaching on power of the tongue, for example, and then to hear the conversations during the fellowship after the studies, my frustrations grew. I found myself in daily prayer, supplication, studying scripture for months, asking, practically pleading with God to show me what we were doing wrong and what was missing. What am I and the other teachers doing wrong? Far too many are still lost, broken, struggling, and not living the more than abundant life He promised us and wants us to live. God wants us to live that more than abundant life. We're not doing anything wrong, but what we're not doing is we're not doing it together. Religions have separated us. Communities have separated us. This is the government's job. This is our job. And everybody's trying to cross paths without having a system, without having a better plan. So just...
Well, at the same time, we have the technology to communicate like we have never had before. I mean, it's just awesome ability to communicate.
Yes.
And it's going to make it easier if we decide to work together. It's going to make it a lot easier, and I think I'm looking forward to working with you. And I think we've got a lot of things to do and a lot of things to accomplish. And
Right.
just as when I heard about you, and I saw what you were doing, I know, the best way to make it work is for me to jump in and do something. And I encourage everybody watching us the same. Don't just listen to us. Come on by and jump in and contribute.
involved. We
'Cause that's
can't
going to
build-
make it work.
We can't finish it without help. I can't
That's
do it
gonna make
alone.
work.
You know,
Yeah.
we need the support
Mm-hmm.
of the community to finish the facilities and get in the classrooms. You may be the person out there that has the ability to help us get the roof done, to help us get in those classrooms, to help us to get the gym going, and or to be the trainer that comes in and counsels the kids or
Sure,
helps us
sure.
to put the package together that will
Sure.
help the homeless or the kids, in their class, in their literacy, illiteracy. So come aboard and help us to create a new atmosphere, a new opportunity for our community. That's what we're looking for, is some people to come on board and help us with our mission to make change.
And you mentioned people wanting to help people in other parts of the world. Well, God bless them.
Yes,
But
absolutely.
one of the problems is that if we have to learn how to help ourselves where we are, and then we can teach others to help themselves where they are. So
Yes.
we really don't have to go very far.
We don't. I can guarantee you,
Yeah.
we can find 500 kids in our own backyard.
Sure.
If you go out a couple of miles, you find 500 kids that are struggling with something.
So it's just a matter of us getting together and helping each other here where we are.
Right, and we are working with teams right now. We have some great people joining us as next week. I'm really excited about our show. Next week is going to be
so am I.
with Adam, Adam from the Tree of Life School. Vicky from Hope Ranch will be joining us next week to talk about their exciting program. So I'm really excited about the growth. We're getting there.
Yeah, these are people in the Edison neighborhood who are actually making a difference.
Yes, they are
They're actually doing something.
Yeah,
There's a man that started his own school,
building homes.
and I understand your
Yes.
son is in the school, and he's
Yes,
a
he
different
is.
person now since
Yes,
he's
he
been
is.
there.
It
It's
made all the
wonderful to
difference
hear.
in the world for
Yeah.
my son
And
being in that school.
what better testimony could it possibly be?
That's right.
Yeah. So these things are happening, and I'll be looking forward to it next week. And that's just two of the things that are, the people
Right.
that are. You haven't mentioned others, and
No, we have several other guests that will be joining
Yeah,
us on our
yeah.
show over the next few weeks.
sure.
That we're really excited about.
Yeah.
Our different partners who have come aboard, and
Yeah.
this also gives them an opportunity to share, as I shared, that we have the advertising opportunities. Well,
Yes.
through partnership, they can join us on the show, and
Yes.
that's advertisement for them for television and to shoot those shows out
Yeah,
on the YouTubes and stuff, which you can also find us on YouTube.
That's right.
Find all of our shows on
That's
the Believers Business Center's website, and we're emailing them out to people to share those messages, so these messages.
yes, I found your shows on the website, and that's great.
Excuse
And like I say, any of you who are interested, look at our website and join us, because that's what's going to make it work. Is you and I working together? We'll make it work together.
Yes, we will. All of us together can make
Okay.
a phenomenal
That's right.
change in this community.
That's right.
As one, we stand alone. As a team, we can move mountains
That's
together,
for sure.
especially with God as the pilot.
That's right.
You know.
I can't wait. God bless you and thank you, and we'll can't wait for next week.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us and
You're
letting us
welcome.
be on the show.
Okay.
God bless.